this, Mr. President. At this juncture, Mr. President, I move that we ratify the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1306 and House Bill number 4673, and let the text of the joint explanation be inserted into the record of the chamber.
Yes, and we take note of the negative vote of Senators, our distinguished minority floor leaders, Senator Coco Pimentel, Senator Risa Ontiveros, and Senator Pia Cayetano, I believe. I'm not sure who else. If Alan is okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Si Robin Hood, okay? Therefore, there being no other objections to the motion, the Bicameral Conference Committee report to disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1306 and House Bill number 4673 is hereby ratified. Congratulations.
Yesterday, Mr. President. Just to put that on record. Mr. President, at this juncture, and with the permission of the body, we are in receipt of the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1306 and House Bill number 4673. This is the measure about the postponement of the 2022 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. May we recognize Chairperson of the Senate panel, Senator J.V. Ejercito, to give the highlights of the Conference Committee report.
Our distinguished colleague from the city of San Juan, Senator J.V. Ejercito, is recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, esteemed colleagues in the Senate. I have the honor of submitting for ratification the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1306 and House Bill number 4673, or an act postponing the December 2022 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 9164 as amended, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Mr. President, I happen to substitute for the chair of the Committee on Electoral Reforms, who is out of the country, Senator Amy Marcos. But this morning, along with Senators Francis G. Escudero, Senator Maria Lourdes Nancy Binay, and Senator Sherwin Gatchalian represented the Senate in the Bicameral Conference Committee during the meeting held this morning. As chairperson of the Senate panel, allow me to report the provisions of the present reconciled bill accompanying our Conference Committee report. The Conference Committee agreed to use the Senate version as the working draft. After much deliberation, it was agreed upon by the members to hold the next synchronized Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections on the last Monday of October 2023. The subsequent Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections will then be conducted every 3 years thereafter. The Senate and the House of Representatives panels approved the possible changing of the date of last Monday of October 2023 for several crucial considerations, which include: first, there is a precedence of holding the synchronized Barangay and SK elections in October. Second, the date usually falls on the school break of youth voters and will enable them to participate in choosing their leaders in the community. Third, it will be more cost-effective with reference to the position paper and computation of the Commission on Elections, which was submitted to the Committee on Electoral Reforms. Consequent to this change in the date of next elections, Section 2 of the Conference Committee report now provides that the term of office of the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan officials elected under this proposed measure shall commence at noon of November 30, 2023, next following their next election. With respect to the provision on appropriations, the Conference Committee adopted Section 4 of the House version. Further, Section 5 of the Senate version, which directs the Commission on Audit to submit an audit report to Congress on the budget used for the postponed December 5, 2022 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections within 90 days from the effectivity of the law, was deleted. It will be available anytime, especially during the budget deliberations. We can already ask the COMELEC. Mr. President, this humble representation is honored to present this Conference Committee report, which was the result of thorough deliberation and commitment to our constituents to pass a law that would promote the welfare of our barangays. Further, as chairman of the Senate Committee on Local Government, this would give us ample amount of time to revisit our laws and introduce amendments to further strengthen the roles and mandate of our barangay officials. At this juncture, Mr. President, allow me to extend my utmost gratitude to the chairperson of the Committee on Electoral Reforms and People's Participation, Senator Amy Marcos, for her trust and confidence towards this representation in leading the Senate contingent in the bicameral conference. We laud her for staunchly shepherding the passage of Senate Bill number 1306 while ensuring that all issues and challenges are addressed from the committee hearing to the plenary debates up to this passage. We would also like to thank our colleagues or members of the Bicameral Conference Committee for sharing their inputs and sound proposals that enabled us to produce a more acceptable version. We would also like to thank the House panel for meeting their counterpart halfway in every provision that we deliberated on. Lastly, this representation would like to thank this August Chamber for entrusting this task to me. Although it was hard, we hope that we were able to complete our task competently. With the permission of the body, I move that the joint explanatory statement on the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1306 and House Bill number 4673 be read in toto into the record and that the Bicameral Conference Committee report be ratified. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate Minority Leader, Senator Aquilino Coco Pimentel, is seeking the floor. I move that she be recognized, Mr. President.
Our distinguished Minority Floor Leader, Senator Pimentel, is recognized.
Thank you for discussion, Mr. President. If the committee report could be subjected to just a brief discussion, with the permission of the sponsor of the BICAM report, I noticed that the final date is a date not found in the Senate version and also a date not mentioned in the House version. So may we know what is that final date and how was that date arrived at, Mr. President?
Actually, it was Senator Jesus Codero who proposed that the elections be not be held on December, no, for several reasons. Because for one, everybody is busy, and second, his first proposal is May of 2024. But the House contingent thought it might be too long already, no? So that's why we arrived at October 2023 because Senator Win, our very own Senator Gatchalian, pointed out that there was already precedent, no? Before that there was Barangay and SK elections that were held in October. So that was the compromise, I would say.
So what would be the new date, Mr. President, according to the BICAM report?
It will be last Monday of October 2023, Mr. President.
So last Monday of October 2023, and of course we also changed the start of the term of those to be elected in October 2023. What would be the start of their term, Mr. President?
Their term will start November 30, 2023.
So November 30, 2023.
Representatives, Mr. President. At this juncture, Mr. President, I move that we ratify the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1306 and House Bill number 4673, and let the text of the joint explanation be inserted into the record of the Chamber.
Yes, and we take note of the negative vote of Senators, our distinguished Minority Floor Leader, Senator Coco Pimentel, Senator Risa Ontiveros, and Senator Pia Cayetano, I believe. I'm not sure who else. If Alan is okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Si Robin Hood, okay? Therefore, there being no other objections to the motion, the Bicameral Conference Committee report on disagreeing provisions of Senate Bill number 1306 and House Bill number 4673 is hereby ratified. Congratulations.